Almost every single thing you do online, booking a flight, liking a photo, ordering food, it's all powered by this incredible technology that most of us never even see. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that invisible engine, the database management system. So just stop and think about that for a second. An airline is juggling millions of reservations at once. Seats are being booked, flights are changing, and a flood of new data is coming in every single second. How on earth does a system handle all of that at the same time without just collapsing into total chaos? Well, the answer is a system built specifically to take all of that digital noise and turn it into perfect managed order. And to really get how it works, we need to break it down into its most basic core components. So let's build our understanding right from the ground up, starting with the very first and most simple building block of any system like this. It all starts with data. And really, data is just raw, unorganized facts. A number like 123, a name like John Smith, a single dollar amount. By themselves, they don't mean much, right? They're just floating pieces of information with zero context. Okay, so what happens next? Well, when you take that raw data and you give it structure, you give it context, you create a database. It's not just a random pile of notes anymore. It's more like an organized phone book where John Smith is now officially linked to a specific phone number. That organized collection, that's the database. And finally, you need a way to actually manage that organized phone book. And that, my friends, is the DBMS, the Database Management System. Think of it as the software, the brain of the whole operation, that lets you actually do stuff. You can search for a name, add a new one, or update a number. It's the gatekeeper that stands between you and all that neatly organized data. At its heart, a DBMS really only does four fundamental things. We often remember them with the acronym CRUD. First, you create new data, like when you make a new post on social media. Then you read it, which is just you scrolling through your feed. You can update it, like editing your profile picture. And of course, you can delete it, like removing a comment. Literally, every complex thing you can think of is just a combination of these four basic actions. Okay, so now that we've got the what, let's talk about the why. Because to really appreciate just how powerful a modern DBMS is, you have to look at the chaotic world it replaced, the old era of the traditional file system. So on the left, you see the old way, the traditional file system. I want you to imagine every single department in a company keeping its own separate set of spreadsheets. Sales has one customer list, billing has another. What's the result? Total chaos. You get data duplication and tons of mistakes. The database approach, on the right, completely solves this. It creates one central, single source of truth that everyone uses. And this table really breaks down the huge practical advantages. With a DBMS, you get way less data redundancy. You can enforce data integrity, simple stuff like making sure a phone number field only accepts numbers. And this one's huge. It can manage concurrent access. This is what stops two people from booking the exact same airline seat at the exact same millisecond. And of course, security is way more advanced than just slapping a password on a file. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The difference here isn't just a tiny improvement. No, it's a massive, fundamental leap in what's possible. It's really the difference between a local shopkeeper's messy notepad and the entire global operation of a giant like Amazon. But as you can probably guess, this kind of power doesn't come for free. As we're about to see, putting a serious database system in place involves some pretty significant trade-offs. Okay, the biggest advantages, hands down, are reliability and security. By getting rid of all those scattered duplicate files, you make sure the data is consistent and trustworthy. You know the customer's address is the right one because it only exists in one place. And securing that one central vault is so much more effective than trying to guard 100 different spreadsheets. And beyond that, you get super easy data sharing, and the system automatically enforces those data rules we talked about. But maybe the most crucial feature for any business is the automated backup and recovery. Because when, and I mean when, not if, a system fails, a good DBMS can restore everything and get you back online. It turns what could be a catastrophe into just a manageable problem. But there's always a flip side, right? All this power comes at a really steep price. We're talking expensive hardware, pricey software licenses, and highly skilled staff, people called database administrators, or DBAs, to run the whole thing. These systems are incredibly complex, which makes them a major investment for any organization. So, after looking at the building blocks, the history, and the pros and cons, let's bring it all back home. Why is any of this so important in your day-to-day life? Here's the big takeaway. Whether you're checking your bank balance, booking a vacation, or even just scrolling on your phone, you are interacting with a database. It's the essential, invisible engine that stores, protects, and serves up the data that runs our entire modern world. And this all leads to a really fascinating final question. The amount of data we create every day is just staggering, and it's growing faster and faster. So to manage this information explosion, what will the next generation of databases need to be able to do? What new problems are they going to have to solve? Well, that's the next chapter in this incredible story. Thanks for watching.